Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Wallace Way Olympic Show, a bite sized show where we cover the Olympics in a not too crazy, tough, deep down format, but we just muse about some thoughts and feelings we have on the 2020 games. Well, really 2021, but if Tokyo wants to say 2020, let them. Anyway, let's start off with the opening ceremonies. I thought the opening ceremonies were quite well done. It was a lot of energy, even though there was no people in the stands. Still a great job energy wise. It was cool seeing Osaka do her thing, lighting the Olympic flame. It was cool to see the Americans come out and all the other countries. So hands up and thumbs up for the opening ceremonies. Very well done. It won't touch London's 2008 when James Bond jumped out of the helicopter, but it was still very well done. Let's talk about Team USA basketball. The first game was Sunday, and they lost to France. So officially, Team Croissant beat Team Wheat Toast. It was an interesting game. I thought France, and they have 6 or 7 NBA players. They're a real team. They're a real threat. They can win the gold medal. So let's just stop all that saying that America choked. They did not choke. France is a solid team with pros. Uh, Rudy Gobert is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's a hell of a player. Evan Fournier. These guys are all legitimate players. So America did not choke. America is not in bad shape. They're in good shape. They are a good team, a solid team, not great by any stretch of imagination, and they are one Kevin Durant twisted ankle away from not medaling. So that's kind of where the bar is now. But they should be fine. I see last night they beat Iran by 54 points. Vegas had them at 39.5 point favorites, and guess who took Iran? Yeah, yeah. But we lost that one, but we'll be back. We'll be back. I also saw Luka drop 48 in his debut at the games, and he's just an incredible player. I actually think he's my favorite going in for next season's MVP. That will be 4 straight international born players, with Greek Freak winning 2, Joker winning 1 last year, and Luca winning this upcoming season. So that's kind of where we are with the game, the international game and the American game. It's not as clear to say that the best player in the NBA is American born. And not to say that, Luka's the best player in the NBA, but we're talking 4 straight MVPs are international players. So understand that, and you can understand that America, as far as basketball goes, is in a different kind of nebulous area where they just can't roll out of bed and beat people by 30 points anymore. That's not going to happen. So you guys have to temper your expectations and understand that America's still the favorite, but it's just closer. It's just closer. Moving on, I see most of the primetime coverage has been swimming. I mean, it's it's literally swimming's on every single night for about 4 or 5 hours. And one thing that jumped out to me was Maryland has the best swimmers. I mean, let's just be real here. We got Katie Ledecky, who's from Bethesda, a little bit up the street from me. And of course, we have Michael Phelps, the greatest swimmer ever, and a few others on the team. So, safe to say, Maryland has the best swimmers in the world, and we need to give props up to the great state of Maryland. And I'm not biased because I was born and bred here, but we have the best swimmers. So there you go. One thing that's kind of annoying me is the coverage for Olympic boxing. I understand boxing is not what it was in the 70s or hell, even the 80s when Mike Tyson was dominating, but some of the greatest boxers in history got their start in the Olympics. I mean, you're talking Ali, you're talking Sugar Ray Leonard, George Foreman, and even more recently, Oscar De La Hoya. So to not see it get its props or its coverage or its emphasis is kind of heartbreaking and annoying to me, but we'll see. I see that there's a round of 16 prelims tomorrow with a lot of the popular weight classes are tomorrow, so I'm going to definitely take a look out for that. And what else? I see that the Russian Olympic team, every time they win or compete, they're called the ROC. And if you grew up in my era in the 2000s, you understand when you throw the diamonds up, that's the ROC that we know, Rockefeller Records, which was a movement, which was a wave, which some of the greatest music, clothing, fashion, everything came out of. So that's kind of a funny thing. Anytime they say ROC, I'm just throwing a rock up all the time, right? So, this Olympics is, of course, it's unique. It's been delayed a year. It canceled any moment now if an outbreak of COVID pops up. But the sports media aspect of it has been quite interesting. When I was watching the game last Sunday, the Team USA basketball game, I saw that it was on Peacock. Now, I didn't have an issue with it because I subscribed to Peacock mainly because of the English Premier League. So it wasn't an issue for me, but I was texting my buddies. A lot of them don't have Peacock, and they were quite upset that you had to pay $4.99 to watch Team USA basketball. And that's kind of where this is all going. NBC owns the rights. They pay billions and billions of dollars to broadcast the games every 4 years. But what they're seeing right now is viewership is down 47% from the last games in Rio 2016. And with NBC not allowing social media video clips to be shown, it's such a narrow-minded, stale, and outdated way of thinking that they're doing. And it's going to be interesting moving forward. Where does the Olympics sports media rights and the viewership and all that go forward, right? In 1988, 1984, and even past back then, there wasn't much content out there. It was what, 4 or 5 channels. Then you had cable. So the Olympics were a huge, huge portion of that, right? You could just pound through content and play it all day. Now there's a lot of content out there. There's a lot of options out there. It's, of course, the streaming. There's thousands of cable channels. There's NCIS reruns all day, right? So it's going to be interesting moving forward how the TV media rights go. I've always wondered, what if ESPN got their rights to the Olympics? And I don't know if they have necessarily the other channels. They got big ESPNU, ESPN2, yada, yada, yada. But with streaming now, I think they could show most of the events and not have a problem with it. So I don't know when the next TV rights comes up, but it's interesting to see if ESPN would drop their hat in the ring. It's going to be about $6 billion for every 4 years. So we'll see about that. And of course, we have to go to the biggest event that has happened this time. And that's the Simone Biles incident where she kind of checked herself out of her competitions. And first and foremost, we want to wish the sister the best and make sure she's doing good and good in a good mental spot. When you're not steady with all that and you're on balance beams and uneven bars, you could really injure yourself. So let's pray for her and make sure she's good on that level. And as you go to social media, you see this incident, this whatever you want to call it, has just engulfed social media. It's a social media today has been a war zone. Everyone has their opinions on it. Everyone is just firing off comments on it. So social media, when it gets like this, when social media becomes a war zone after an event like this, you just kind of want to stay out of it and fly above it. And it's entertaining, so you're still going to check it. Let's just be real, right? But just kind of stay out of it and see where the chips land. But what this event, this incident reminds me of one of the best quotes from Riddick Bowe, who was a DC boxer, world heavyweight champion. He fought Holyfield twice. He had some good battles, really great boxer. And he says, it's hard to train in silk pajamas. And what I take from that is when you're climbing up that mountain to peak championship greatness, it's almost easier. You're able to focus. You have a task at hand, and you understand where you want to go, and you're going to put the work, effort into getting there. Now, when you get to that peak, it becomes different. The pressure becomes different. You're pulled in so many different ways. Everybody wants you for TV and commercials. They want you to help their brand. They want you family pressure. They want money. They want this. They want that. And you're pulled in so many different ways. You can understand the pressure that this lady was under. I mean, you literally can see the pressure that she's under. So it's almost like a be careful what you ask for type thing. The silk pajamas, we all want them, but understand what comes with those silk pajamas, right? So it's just an interesting thing. But at the bottom line, end of the day, she doesn't have to do another event. She's the greatest gymnast ever. She's in the history books. So we just wishing her the best and hoping everything works out. I know NBC deep down hates this because without her, their coverage of the Olympics, I mean, people just aren't going to watch it. They won't care as much, I don't think, because she drove the needle. She drove the needle. Like she is U.S. gymnast, the same way Phelps was swimming in the last couple Olympics. So we'll see how that all works out. But you know, the Olympics is great drama. And that's really what it is. And if you look at it any other way, it's incredible sports drama, it's geopolitical, it's incidents like this. And so we'll see how it all pans out. Next week, we definitely look forward to track and field, which is sort of the bell cow of the whole event. People love track and field. They love the javelin. They love pole vaulting. Of course, they love the running, the 100 meters, and all that. So I got a couple track specialists coming on next time. So we'll definitely chat with them about track. So we look forward to that. So please subscribe to the Wallace Way, and we'll see you next time. All right, peace.